And if you're selling online, the biggest obstacle to generating those sales is visibility, followed closely by credibility. And then if you have a ton of competition, it's even worse. You don't stand out. No one knows you're there, and generating sales becomes more and more difficult every day. And every day gets harder, and you throw your hands up in the air and you feel like giving up. Now, here's the real problem you face and the solution. Why do people buy from other people? Think about this. It's because they trust them, they believe them, and they think that person knows something they don't. Or they think that person knows more than they do. In a real sense, they see that person as an expert or an authority. And that expert or authority is who they want to go to for the solution to their problem. Here's some breaking news. You, in your business, are the expert or authority they're looking for. But the problem is, not enough people know that about you yet. So, how is somebody like you, the real expert or authority on something, supposed to let people know you're out there so that they'll want to buy from you no matter what you sell, whether it's coaching, whether it's a product, whether you're a speaker, whether you sell insurance, whatever you sell, how are they going to know that you're the one they want to buy from? Well, think about this for a minute. When you think about people who are the authority in something, how do you usually find them? You do a Google search and you discover that there are people out there that are talking very specifically about something you need, or they're talking about a solution to a problem you have, or how to do something you don't know how to do. It could be anything. And the most common way that people make that info available to you is through a book that they've written. Because after all, nothing establishes a person as an authority more than being the author of a book. I mean, really, think about it. If someone were to tell you they had written a book about something, wouldn't you be impressed by that? Wouldn't you want to know more about what they've written, especially if it's on a topic to solve a problem that you have? You might find that you even want to buy that book from them if it solves your problem. So here's the secret. If you need to generate more sales for your business, if you need to increase the visibility for yourself and or your business, and if you want to overtake and beat your competition as the authority in your market, all you have to do is write your own book. Now, understand this. It's the book that is going to establish you as an expert and draw people towards you. Now, you're probably thinking, I can hear you. Well, Jim, I don't know anything about writing a book. Actually, that's not true. The only thing you really need to know is whatever you're an expert at, and you already know all of that. What you don't know are some very specific technical things that can help you get a book written super fast. And in just about 3 hours fast. Don't believe me? Let me tell you a quick story. Like I said a few minutes ago, my name's Jim Edwards, and this is what happened when I wrote my first book. My first book actually took 4 years to write the content. I wrote it from 1992 to 1996. I would pick it up, I would put it down, I would come back to it. It was just this torturous thing. When I finally got it done, I sent it off to over 40 publishers and got rejected by every single one of them. So I ended up publishing the book, self-publishing the book myself at Kinko's. This is actually what the book looked like in its final format with the sweet comb binding, and I laid it out myself in a program called PageMaker. That'll date me back then. Now the cool thing is I actually used this book to build my business as a realtor. My first year in real estate, I took 52 listings. Many of those listings I got by using that book as a calling card with for sale by owners. I would literally go to them and say, hey, I got this book, show you how to sell your house yourself. And if it helps you, if you'd write me just a testimonial, that would be great. And if it doesn't, if you don't end up selling, you decide you don't want to, if I can help you, just let me know. That was my whole awesome sales pitch. And so what would happen is people would read the book. Some of them would sell. Others would be like, there ain't no way I'm doing this. Let's call that dude and have him sell our house. So either way, I was a winner. But in 1997, I actually started selling the book online as an ebook. And I got written up in the New York Times Sunday real estate section. I got up to the point where it paid my house payment, my 2-car payments, and the electric bill every single month. And so I have never had a traditional publishing deal, though I have had offers. But I know that the number one lesson that I learned is that you make the most money because you have a book, not from the book sales themselves. Because I still made more money using this book as a calling card to get people to list their house with me, where I'd make thousands in commission rather than making $29 off of a book sale. But I'm not the only one using books this way. So let me tell you about some of my friends and students too. So here are some of the people that I've worked with to help them do their books. Suzanne, who is a dog behaviorist, uses her books to get coaching clients and to prove her credibility in the marketplace. She actually used this book and sent it off to local media, and a local TV station did a 12-part series on her where she taught each one of these mistakes on local TV, and it brought her a ton of attention. Karen uses her book to get high-end listings because she shows how to stage your house and how to sell your house in a high-end market. And all the high-end sellers call her and get her to help them sell their house. Pete used his book to teach people how to avoid stock trading mistakes and use this to get people into his high-end coaching program. Dexter wanted to get more speaking gigs, and so he created a book about fearless success that he used to leverage his way onto a whole bunch of people's stages. Stu, who is a former Navy SEAL, decided he wanted to go into a new market, going after tactical athletes over 40. And so he wrote a book in 3 hours and was able to use that book to get dozens of people to sign up to his $100 a month coaching program. And so he was able to leverage this into a huge payday. So that's just a few of the people, and this is one of my latest books. This is a #1 Amazon bestseller that, interestingly enough, instead of taking me 4 years to write, I wrote it a heck of a lot faster. I'm going to show you how we've done that. So right now, you're probably sitting there thinking, okay, great. That's fine for you, Jim. That's fine for Stu. That's fine for Dexter. That's fine for Pete. That's fine for Karen. That's fine for Suzanne. Okay. But right now, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, you know what? That's great for you, Jim, but I still don't know anything about writing a book. Well, I'm about to show you exactly what you need to do to create your own book that'll help you generate more sales for your business. But first, let's sweep a few things out of the way, okay? None of the following things I'm about to say are true or actually mean anything, yet people throw them up as roadblocks for this process, okay? It takes forever to write a book. No, it doesn't. It's too hard. Nope, it's simple. I'm not a writer. I don't know how. I've never done it before. I'm sure it's expensive. I don't know how to get my book formatted. How do I get a publisher? How do I sell it? How do I get it printed? How do I use it to get more business? Now, guys, you can throw all those excuses out the window, because here's the reality. There are pretty much just two different ways to write a book. There's the traditional way, where basically you sit down and you gut it out and you torture yourself at the keyboard. I've seen people do this. Hell, I did it the first time I wrote my book. You sit there and you torture yourself and you're like, oh my God, is this good enough? And this isn't going to be good. Am I going to be? And just all these things are going through your head. And about 10% of it is actually writing the book, and the rest is just driving yourself insane, okay? Or number two, there's the smart way, where basically you use technology and specific strategies to get your book content created 100 times faster, literally, than the traditional way. In fact, you can create everything you need for your own unique original book in just 3 hours. Yes, I know that sounds incredible, but it's true, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. Let me show you step by step how to do this. Now, I'll give you a quick overview, then I'm going to show you how it's done. Basically, it's a 3-step process. You record a 60 to 90-minute interview to create the content for your book. You have that interview transcribed, and then you have the text of that transcription formatted into a book. Those are the 3 big steps. Now, if you've got expertise to share or a story to tell, this process was made for you. So here is the step-by-step 3-hour book creation process. I'm going to lay it out for you in step-by-step detail right now, okay? Note, though, this is 3 hours total work by you. It's not 3 hours in a row. So you'll do something here, then you'll hand it off to someone else, then you'll do something else. And so it's not 3 hours in a row from like 3 o'clock today till 6 o'clock tonight, though you can do it super, super fast, okay? So step 1, you need to define your audience and the problems they want solved. Now, you're an expert. You know how to solve problems. You know who you solve those problems for, okay? So this is simple. Who is the book for and what's the topic? Best topic is to solve a problem, okay? The time to do this is about 10 minutes. You know who your audience is. You know what problems they need solved. You know what problems they need taken care of by you in order for them to want to buy more stuff from you. All right. Step 2, you prepare the interview using proven angles. That's the key. Now, what a lot of people don't know about me is that I was actually a syndicated newspaper columnist for 10 years. I interviewed people all over the world through email, through live interaction, through the phone, you name it, I did it. And basically, these are proven interview angles that I discovered as a syndicated newspaper columnist over 10 years. So these are the ones that always work. There's the beginner's guide, the critical skills, the frequently asked questions, the how did you get started, mistakes people make, myths and misconceptions, new idea or technique, rules of the road, state of the union, step-by-step roadmap, tips, tricks, and secrets. All of those are basically patterns that work awesome for doing interviews. And so the time to do that is about 20 minutes. Once you know the angle of the interview, it's easy to put together the questions. So step number 3 now, before you've even done your interview, you're going to order your book cover from Fiverr.com. You don't want to wait. And it's critical that you have a professional looking cover. So you want to go ahead and order it now because that's going to build momentum. It's going to cost you about $20. Okay, this builds momentum because you're going to get that cover back in a day or two and you're going to go, oh my God, that's amazing. This book really is going to happen. So the one thing I would tell you though is to make sure that you have the rights to any pictures that you use on your cover. That is critical. You cannot just use any old pictures you found on Amazon or you found on Google or something like that. Okay. So the time to do step number 3 is about 20 minutes. When you're ordering a cover from somebody on Fiverr, basically you're going to ask you, okay, what do you want it to say? What do you want it to look like? And do you have a picture for it? So that's step number 3. Step number 4 is you're actually going to record the interview using the phone. You're going to get a friend or a colleague to interview you and ask you questions, and you're going to answer those questions, and that's going to create the content for your book. Now, I prefer using freeconferencecall.com because it's free, and all you do is just jump on there, and you can record and download the interview as an MP3 with freeconferencecall.com. Literally, you sign up with freeconferencecall.com, doesn't cost you anything, and then they give you a phone number and a PIN number. You and a friend call in. You whack a little button on your screen that says record, and it'll record you while you're talking on the phone. And then literally you have created your interview. Now, the step to do this is 60 to 90 minutes. It just depends on how long you end up talking to do your interview. So you record it and you have it as an MP3 file. Now, what you do, step number 5, you're going to send that MP3 file to rev.com and have it transcribed. And rev.com charges $1 a minute. So for an hour recording, it's going to cost you $60, okay, to have everything done. Now, that's going to take you about 10 minutes. You do not want to transcribe your own interview. I know people will say, oh, well, I could just transcribe it myself. Unless you're a professional transcriptionist, don't do it. It's not worth your time. You can't make $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 an hour if you're doing $10 an hour work. You are not a transcriptionist. Do not transcribe your own interview. Step number 6, you're going to get that transcript back from Rev and you're going to do a light edit. That means you go through and you do grammar and punctuation. You don't go back through and rewrite the whole thing, and you don't go back through and slave over it for days, weeks, and months. Now, the key to this process, I'll show you Stu's book. The key to this process is because we speak differently than we write. What you want to do is make sure you have a cover letter in your book that just explains that you have done this originally as an interview, and that's why it reads the way it does as a conversation rather than what they might expect from a usual book. If you put a cover letter in there that says that, people are 100% fine with the fact that it is the transcript of an interview rather than written out like a book. Nobody cares. They get into the flow of it. Everything's fine. Okay? So the time to do this edit is between 30 and 60 minutes. Just depends on how much time you want to put into it. But I've got a warning for you, and I want you to listen very, very carefully to me. Do not get bogged down at this stage of the process, okay? Because a lot of people are like, oh, well, that's, that doesn't read right or something like that. No, it reads the way you said it, which is fine, okay? You're not trying to get a Pulitzer here. What you're trying to do is get a book done that you can hand to somebody and say, hey, you know what? I've written a book on this topic, and I'd love for you to have a copy. And if I can help you, please let me know. That's one of the ways you're going to use this to get people to sign up for a big coaching program instead of just trying to make money selling books at $12.95 a pop. So step number 7, you need to get that transcription formatted into book format. Again, we are not professional book formatters, okay? We are professionals. We are experts. We are the people who have the information that people need. We pay somebody else to format our book. You can go to Fiverr.com and get your book formatted. Are you ready for this? For about 10 to 20 bucks. So instead of you spending 4 or 5 hours trying to format your book and figuring out what gutters are and headers and footers and pagination and all this stuff, you pay somebody who knows how to do it 10 to 20 bucks to format it for Kindle, or 10 to 20 bucks to format it for CreateSpace. CreateSpace is the one actually, in case you don't know, CreateSpace is Amazon's print-on-demand arm, where they will take your file, you upload it for free, they'll turn it into a physical print book, and boom, it's done. All right, and it doesn't cost you anything to publish on CreateSpace, doesn't cost you anything to publish on Amazon. And if you want to get copies of your book, you can get them for a couple, $3 a pop plus shipping. So the one thing I will tell you, though, is that I always pay extra to get the formatted DOCX file back. This is just an extra little bit of information for you, okay? I always pay extra so I can get it back in a Word file so I can edit it further however I want in case I want to make changes or something like that. Then I don't have to get it formatted again. That will cost you a little bit extra. It just depends on who you hire to do it for you. Now the step to do the time to do this 7th step of the formatting is about 10 minutes. Why? Because you just send the file off to the person on Fiverr and they do it. Okay? That's the key. You don't format your book. Otherwise, you're opening yourself up for a whole lot of pain, and you're making about 25 cents an hour while you're doing it. Now, step number 8 is you upload to Amazon Kindle and CreateSpace. This is where you publish your book. The time to do this is about 5 minutes. It is so anticlimactic, actually, to publish on Amazon and CreateSpace, because all you do is basically just put in your title, put in the description of your book, which is already done. You're going to put in your keywords. You're going to upload the book file that somebody else formatted. You're going to upload the cover that somebody else created. You're going to tell them what price to charge for it, and you're going to whack a button and it's published. That's it. That's all it takes to become published on Amazon or CreateSpace. So let's summarize, though, what makes your book a real book, because I think you need to understand this. What really makes your book a real book is that your book's contents came out of your head, all right? You do an interview, it comes out of your head, you answer the questions. That's all that matters, is that it's your content, your thoughts. It's got a professional cover, because that's key. It's got to have a cover that looks professional. It looks like a real book. It looks like these books, okay? It's formatted correctly. In other words, when they leaf through it, does it look like a book? It's formatted and spaced and done correctly. And it's published on Amazon. That's key, all right? What makes a book a real book is that it's on Amazon. Not whether it's published by CreateSpace or published by Amazon's KDP program, or whether it's published by Penguin Books or HarperCollins. Nobody cares. All they care about is if you tell them you've got a book and it's for sale on Amazon, that makes you a real author with a real book. Okay? So, the hardest part has been getting the contents out of your head and into your book. Think about it. Getting the cover done, getting the thing uploaded to Amazon, getting it formatted. We're having other people do that. The hardest part forever has been getting it out of here and into a form that you can turn into a book. Until now. And what if I could show you a piece of software that makes this entire process even easier? Let me show you the easy button for getting all of this done super fast. So what I want to show you guys now is the easy button for the whole process. It's called the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard. And I'm going to show you over about the next 10 to 12 minutes how this works. But basically what it does is it takes everything that I showed you, and I didn't hold anything back, all right? But it takes everything that I showed you and it makes it step-by-step simple and point and click simple for you to be able to do it. So let me do a quick demo of this for you. And let me get it on a full screen. Now, one thing you might want to do, again, click those 4 arrows in the lower right-hand corner so it will make it big for you on the screen. But basically how this software works is it works on both PC and Mac, and it asks you a series of questions, and then it creates everything you need in order to make your book. So the example that we're going to use right here is with a friend of mine named Stu Smith, and I'm going to pull up his book on Amazon. I should have had it ready to go. Here we go. All right, so we actually used the wizard to create Stu's book on Amazon, and we're going to talk more about that in just a minute, but this is the actual example that we're doing right here. So it asks you a series of questions, going to ask you who's the interviewer, who's going to ask the questions, who's the author, so in this case it would be you, so you would choose a friend, then the author's name, and it's going to ask you who your target audience is. It's going to ask you what the keyword theme is for your book. It's going to ask you what your topic is. It's going to ask you the big payoff for the audience. It's going to ask you 3 benefits that your audience wants. So in this case, it's enjoy intense workouts to increase strength, recover faster, avoid injuries. Then what it's going to do is help you with something that most people have a real problem with, especially people who are authors or want to be authors, and that is getting together all of the information about you and why people should listen to you as an author. Because the funny thing is that as soon as we start trying to sell ourselves, we all think that everything we've done is no big deal because it's just, it's us. we've done it. It's not that big of a deal, but it is a big deal. So the cool thing about this software is that it gets all the stuff out of your head. So ask you questions about your education, your experience, your awards, special things that give you have helped you earn the right to teach on this topic, cool facts about you, and a big obstacle. Then the last three are basically what's your book title. Now, Stu had a book title, but if he didn't, and I'll show you here in a minute, if he hadn't had a book title, the software would actually write over 100 different titles for you. Then it's going to ask you for the questions in your interview, but when you see this, you'll be amazed. And then some cool secret that you're gonna ask. So once you filled this out, the first thing you're going to want to do, you're going to obviously want to save it. And then you're going to click the build button, and this is where all the magic starts happening. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to figure out which type of interview you're going to want to create for your actual interview. And what's the angle? And remember I said there were certain angles that worked really, really well. So what this will do, you can do a beginner's guide, you can do a critical skills, FAQ, how'd you get started, mistakes, myths and misconceptions, new idea or technique, rules of the road, state of the union, step-by-step roadmap, tips, tricks, and secrets. My personal favorite is the mistakes. And the reason why I love mistake books is because it takes all the mental pressure off of you. Because we can all explain to people what not to do, and you don't have to feel like you're the Albert Einstein on a particular topic, but we can all help people avoid mistakes. Now, in this particular case, Stu decided that he wanted to do the new idea or technique. So we just chose the new idea technique book interview. And you click the build button and save it, and then you click view. And here's what it does. It creates an entire interview totally customized with that angle with all of your information. So remember, we said we have an introduction, we have the questions, we have a conclusion. So the interesting thing is that the initial title that it had here was, "Hi everyone and welcome to What's New with Recovery and Maintenance, an interview with Stu Smith." Now he already had a title that he wanted to use, and I'm going to show you a bunch of different other titles in just a second, but it writes the whole introduction. So, hi, my name is Jim Edwards, and today I'm talking with recovery and maintenance expert Stu Smith about new developments in the area of recovery and maintenance and still being able to do physically what you did when you were 20. Welcome, Stu. Stu's a well-known expert in the area in the subject of recovery and maintenance. Has graciously consented this interview to share extensive knowledge and experience so every tactical athlete over 40 can understand how to train effectively and actively pursue recovery. So now we go through, and it's got all the questions that we need to ask him for this particular interview. Now, it has almost a dozen default ones in this particular one, but depending on how long of an interview you want to do, it has more, and all of them have extra ones. So literally, we can just copy this, and we can paste it up here, and we can make whatever length interview we want. And then we have the conclusion here, thanks Stu for a great interview. I'm sure all of our tactical athletes over 40. And the cool thing is that, again, every single one of these is different, and every single interview is different based on the information that's put into the wizard. In fact, in the live comments below, Susan said, "I own the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard and I love it. Massively cool." Thank you, Susan. Awesome. So that's the first thing, is we have our interview done. Now, let's say we didn't like that title. Okay, well, let's write 100 titles really, really fast. All right, let's do that. Boom. Done. All right. Here's a whole bunch of titles that coincide with all the different interview types. So if we'd been doing a tips, tricks, and interview, we could have done recovery and maintenance tips every tactical athlete over 40 needs to know. Here's the success ways fundamentals, so the beginner's guide for recovery and maintenance, things every tactical athlete over 40 should know. So again, all of these are done for you, and you can use one of these as is, or you can use them and combine them with a title and a subtitle, or you can adapt them however you want. So we just did 100 titles there real quick. Now, one of the things that you need to have is your book listing, description, and back cover copy, especially if you're going to do CreateSpace. And that's one of the things it takes for everybody forever to do. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do our Amazon listing and our back cover copy instantly right now. Boom, done. So here we go. So attention all tactical athletes over 40 who want to enjoy intense workouts to increase strength, recover faster, and even avoid injuries. If you're looking to succeed with recovery and maintenance, then this brand new book by recovery and maintenance expert Stu Smith reveals how every tactical athlete over 40 can understand how to train effectively and actively pursue recovery. In fact, here's just a sample of what Stu will cover for you in the pages of this insightful new book. And so we've got all of the bullets, which I'll show you where we got these in just a second. And so this is plenty for both the back cover and for your actual your Amazon listing and even for your own website. Now you see these bullets right here. Stu Smith's first major breakthrough with recovery and maintenance and what you can learn from it to reach your own success. And if you remember earlier in the training, I told you, okay, one of the ways to come up with your bullets and things like that is to use the questions. What if this software could take those questions that you're going to ask and turn them into massively persuasive bullets that were incredible pieces of sales copy? Would that be cool? Well, let me show you exactly how it does that. Literally, we come down here and where it says new idea or technique, it will write all your sales copy bullets for you. Boom. And what it does is it takes all the questions from the interview and it translates them into bullets. So tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of recovery and stuff. And then the questions, so Stu Smith's first major breakthrough with recovery and maintenance, how the world of recovery and maintenance is different now than when Stu got started. So it takes all of those questions and rewrites them and customizes them for you into amazing bullets. Now, you remember I also told you that one of the ways to create chapter titles is to use your questions as the chapter titles. But what if we could take those questions and rewrite them into amazing chapter titles? So the question, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, becomes meet your recovery and maintenance expert, Stu Smith. Recovery and maintenance roadblocks Stu Smith overcame, a big breakthrough with how to train effectively and actively pursue recovery. How to recovery and maintenance is different now. So every single one of those questions has been translated into not only amazing sales copy bullets, but also into compelling chapter titles. All of these things saving you a ton of time, energy, and effort and making it drop dead easy for you to be able to get the stuff out of your head and get it into book form and not get jerked around trying to figure it out. Now, what if you wanted to sell it off of your own website? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's create a sales letter for that book instantly. Boom. There you go. There's your sales letter. All right. Complete with your headline, attention tactical athletes over 40. Listen as recovery and maintenance expert Stu Smith reveals tactical fitness for the athlete over 40, actively pursuing recovery and maintenance, how to train effectively and actively pursue recovery. So it's got your intro, all your bullets, all the information about Stu. It's got everything, including your PSs, using problem, agitate, solve formula, which is the world's best sales copywriting formula. Now, you also remember that I told you that you need to write a cover letter, right? That tells people it's an interview. Well, let's write that cover letter really fast. Boom, done. All right. So, attention, a special note about how this book was created. Dear Tactical Athlete over 40, thanks for claiming your copy of the Tactical Fitness for the Athlete over 40. And so it tells them, hey, this was created as a live interview. I want you to feel as though I'm talking with you. Let's get ready to take your recovery and maintenance to the next level so you can understand how to train effectively and actively pursue recovery. Let's get started with being able to do physically what you did when you were 20 right now. Sincerely, Stu Smith. Bang! Done. Awesome. So last thing that I want to talk to you about is, of course, Stu's got to have his bio page in there. So let's do Stu's bio right now. Boom, done. Meet Stu Smith. Stu's an expert in recovery and maintenance whose accomplishments include graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy, trained thousands, certified strength and conditioning, former U.S. Navy SEAL officer. So boom, his whole bio is done. So all of these things that hold people up, the software does for you. Boom, 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 boom. It's done. Everything's done. And I want you to think about something real quick. That's pretty much it. It does a lot of other stuff too. It writes ads for you. It writes all your emails. It'll do stealth closes. It'll ask people to let you interview them, ask them to interview you. It has the prep emails, confirmation emails, just several different types for each interview that you can do. So if you want to do like a fast report like the one I showed you that got back from Rev, if you want to even create a workbook, it turns all the questions into fill in the blank stuff. It just does a ton of other things we don't have time to show right now. But think about what we did show and see, okay? We created the entire interview, all right? We created our Amazon copy, our back of the book copy. We wrote all of our sales copy bullets. We wrote all of our chapter titles. We wrote our cover letter. We wrote our bio. We created an entire sales letter, and we did some other really cool stuff too. So that's pretty amazing, and I hope that you can see. Let me know down in the Q&A box. We have a bunch of people who already have the software who are saying it's super cool, awesome, awesome, awesome. But for those of you that don't have it yet, let me share with you there's one thing I forgot. Okay, if you wanted to do your interview as a webinar or something like that, what you can do is this will make all of your slides for you. So literally, if you wanted to do this as a webinar, I just created all the slides. So what's new with recovery and maintenance, interview with Stu Smith. Welcome, Stu. Tell us a little bit about yourself. So this is a fully editable PowerPoint. You can use your own template. You can change it, add pictures, do whatever you want. But this creates an entire webinar slide deck for you at the click of a mouse. So that's pretty cool. People think that's neat too. So just to tell you how Stu's book did, Stu actually, this is his book listed on Amazon. He actually got it was so successful and has been so successful, he actually got contacted by Amazon. They enrolled him in a special program where they're helping him actually sell more copies of his book. If we look right here, there's where it is right now. So he's got another couple of customer reviews on there. But that's his book. He's got it up there as Kindle and also as a paperback version as well. So how has he done with this book so far? Well, the book started selling like crazy at a premium price point. Did you notice he was selling that for, let me show you just in case you missed that. He's selling the Kindle book for $9.99, $10. He's not selling it for 99 cents. All right. He's selling a real book at a real price. So the other thing is that it shot to #1 bestseller in a popular Kindle fitness category. It earned thousands in royalties within 30 days. I'm not authorized to tell you the exact figure, but it is a high four-figure. It's not like $1,001. It's real money. In fact, Stu told me that was his single biggest month ever on Amazon. And by the way, Stu's been publishing his books since 1997. So that's a big deal. He's a full-time fitness writer. He received real 5-star reviews from thrilled readers. Sales from Stu's other fitness books spiked as well because people saw his book. They got his book, they saw he had other books, and they bought those. And the most incredible part, as far as I'm concerned, I'm grabbing a copy of his book. He added a dozen new, and that figure's actually low now. He added over a dozen new high-ticket coaching clients to the back end of his fitness business. He charges $300 a quarter for him to send you workouts, customized workouts. That's how I met Stu. He's actually my coach. So pretty damn good from a book, wouldn't you say? And so here's a copy of his book. This one's actually spiral bound so that he can the people can lay it flat. But you can see right in here, all right? Look at that, all right? I actually interviewed him for the book, but it says Jim Stu, Jim Stu, Jim Stu, all the way through, all right? So are you going to, for people who are like, oh, an interview book, that's not a real book. You tell a Navy SEAL with 25 years as an author that this book, his most successful book on a single book in a single month on Amazon, is not a real book. I dare you, all right? Everything we've talked about is real. Here's what really matters with your own real book. 1, you have your own content that came out of your head. 2, it's got a professional cover. 3, it's formatted correctly. And 4, it's published on Amazon. That's what makes it a real book. Not how much you suffered over it, not how many weeks, months, and years it took you to type it up at the keyboard. That right there on the screen is what really matters and makes your book a real book. Now, here's your chance to hit the easy button for this entire process. I have a special offer for you on the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard software that I just showed you. This is your chance to push the easy button to build momentum, get all the parts done instantly, spend your time creating content, and get on with your life. The 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard makes it insanely easy on you to create Kindle books, print books, ebooks, special reports, and more. The 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard software works on both PC and Mac, and it creates all your book material, including 11 different 100% customized interview tracks, the entire PowerPoint slide decks, 100 plus customized book title templates, custom chapter titles, book length interviews, report style interviews, custom interviews of any length that you choose. Plus, it creates all your sales copy and marketing materials, including it writes your book listing description, your back cover copy, your custom sales copy bullets, your cover letter, your author bio, your paid sales letter, a free sales letter if you want to use your book for lead generation, stealth closes to use in your content marketing. Plus, it writes all your emails, including an announcement email teaser, a teaser for your affiliates, an email asking someone to interview you, an email asking someone to let you interview them, email asking people for referrals, interview confirmation email, the thank you email, and so much more. This software, the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard software, carries a value of $497. And if you only got that, it would be worth every single penny. But I also want to include training and tools that are going to ensure you're successful with this process. So I'm going to include the Create Your Own Unique Kindle Book in 3 hours flat training. That's going to show you this entire process step by step by step. That's a total value of $97. I'm going to include 34 ways to make money with your own book without getting on the New York Times bestseller list training. This shows you 34 different ways to leverage your book to make money without worrying about whether or not it's a quote-unquote bestseller. This carries a value of $97. I'm also going to include the 17-minute book marketing training because you need to market your book to build your business, but you can't let it eat up your whole day. So I'm going to show you 10 different ways to market your book in 17 minutes a day or less. That carries a value of $97. I'm also going to include 15 mistakes ebook authors make that kill sales, explode refunds, and destroy credibility, and how to fix them. Now, this is not being negative. This is showing you the mistakes that people make so that you can prevent making them in the first place when you're using your book to build your business. That carries a value of $97. Plus, I'm including a bonus interactive online checklist that'll walk you through all the steps of this process. You can view it online. You can check them off as you go through. and keep track of everything right there in your web browser. That has a value that's absolutely priceless to keep you on track. So this is what you're going to get. You're going to get the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard software, $497 value. You're going to get the 34 ways to make money with your own ebook training, the create your unique Kindle book in 3 hours flat training. You're going to get the 17-minute book marketing training. You're going to get the 15 mistakes ebook authors make training. Total value $885. But that's not all, because I'm also going to include an unadvertised bonus: how to put tripwires and lead magnets into your Kindle books or regular books. 15 ways to get more leads, make more sales, and build your audience from inside your books. I did this training with a buddy of mine, Daniel Hall, who is also an expert in Kindle publishing, where we show you how to put things in your book that get people to buy from you and sign up to your list. Also, we have another brand new bonus where we're going to share with you the actual book interview that the Navy SEAL Stu Smith used to create his book, plus a detailed case study where he walks us through the process that he went through. We're going to include that as well. So you're going to get the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard. You're going to get all the training I mentioned, plus you're going to get the bonus training, tripwires and lead magnets, plus you're going to get the Stu Smith book creation case study. That's a total value of $1,079. So I want you to ask yourself, seriously, ask yourself the question, what is the potential worth to me of having my own book? Okay. And think about it from the standpoint of how much is just one unique physical book of your very own worth to you as an authority in your niche or industry. No matter what you sell, no matter what you're doing, the ability to hand somebody a book and say, hey, I'd like you to have a copy of my book. I'd like to send you a copy of my book, just pay shipping. Here's my book that'll solve your problem. What is that worth to you and your credibility and authority? How many leads could you get? How many more sales could you make? How much instant credibility will you enjoy? How will you look at yourself in the mirror when you're a published expert? Think about that. Because it's time to choose. You can choose to make money and experience authority in your business, or you can make excuses, but you can't do both. This software and system were literally 20 years in the making. It's like me reaching back in time to that young guy in 1995 and saying, hey, it doesn't have to take 4 years to create the content for your book. I just created my content for my latest book in 72 minutes. So again, you're going to get the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard software. You're going to get all the training, all the bonus training, total value $1,079. And I don't have time to go into detail on this. I've explained these on other trainings, but I've got a whole lot more bonuses I'm going to include for you as well. I've got a ton of stuff that I just don't have time to go into right now. But I've got 2 more bonus wizards you're going to get that are each worth $497. I've got an entire home study course I'm going to give you that's worth $997. I've got an entire case study from my latest book from start to finish. It'll walk you through the entire process minutely from start to finish, ordering the cover, ordering the formatting, all that, and much, much more. The total value that these extra bonuses add to the package, it just creates a value that's over $3,000 for you. But that means you're going to get the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard software. You're going to get all the training. You're going to get all the extra training. Plus, you're going to get the 2 bonus wizards, even more training. Total value, $3,073. And it's worth every penny of $3,073. That's the actual value, but you're not going to pay that. I'm not going to charge you that. You're also not going to pay my accountant's price of $997. He thinks everything I sell should be at least $1,000. You're also not going to pay the regular price. If you go to 3hourkindlebookwizard.com right now, you will see that we sell this software every day on our site for $497, but you're not going to pay that. When you go to 3hourkindlebookwizard.com/special offer, you will see that we have a $247 special webinar offer. That's a one-time payment. But I have a special gift to Facebook Live webinar attendees. You guys who are here with me right now on this Facebook Live video, you're going to get $70 more off. That's a total discount of $320. Your price right now is just $177. That's a one-time payment. Everything that I told you about, you get everything here. You get the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard, you get the 2 extra wizards, you get all the training, you get the home study course that I didn't have time to even tell you about. Total value, $3,073 when you go to 3hourkindlebookwizard.com/special offer. Now let's talk for just a second as we wind this up. Let's talk about other stuff you could spend $200 on, okay? You could buy a pair of Beats by Dre headphones off Amazon for a couple $100. They're made out of plastic. If you sat on them, they're broken. They're done forever. You could buy this plush horse costume, which, I don't know, running around your neighborhood, who knows what would happen to you. Or my favorite is, you could take that $200, you could buy 1 ounce of beluga caviar, you could spread that on 5 Ritz crackers, and you could eat up that $200 with some salty fish eggs. Or you could make the right choice, and right now you have 2 choices. First option is to do nothing and suffer from too much work, take weeks or months to get your first or next book written and struggle forever. Or second option, pull the extra change out of your pocket and for under $200, have all your book writing, content creation, and book promo needs taken care of forever. And by the way, if I can't make you money, I don't deserve yours. And so we have a 100% risk-free guarantee. The 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard will do exactly what we promise and so much more. Use it for 30 days risk-free, put it to the test, and if it isn't everything we say it is and more, you'll get a full and complete refund, no questions asked, no hard feelings. So again, you're going to get the 3-hour Kindle Book Wizard software. You're going to get the 34 ways to make money with your own ebook training, the create your own unique Kindle book in 3 hours flat training, the 17-minute book marketing training, the 15 mistakes ebook authors make training, the tripwires and lead magnets training, the Stu Smith book creation case study, all the bonus wizards, even more bonus training and more. Total value, $3,073. Everything here for just $177 when you go to 3hourkindlebookwizard.com/special offer. And you might be asking, okay, Jim, if it's so great, why are you selling it so cheap? I'm going to tell you 2 reasons why. Number 1, I know that when you have your own book that you can use to build your business, it will totally change your life forever. And number 2, I know that when you hand somebody a copy of your book, when you look at your book, when you sell somebody a copy of your book, it has to work to build your business. There's no choice. It has to work. It will work because it's a proven fact that it works. And so now you have the choice. You can have your own book and use it to build your business, or you can listen to the people who will say to you, oh, well, you didn't type it up and you didn't suffer and you didn't sit there and write it, so it's not a real book. And they're full of crap because it is a real book. It came out of your head. It's got a great looking cover. It's formatted correctly and it's published on Amazon. That's what makes a book, and you can use that book to build your business. So the choice is yours. Are you going to take advantage of this great offer and get your book done super fast and use it to build your business, or are you going to keep on struggling? Stop struggling. Use technology. Use strategy. Create that book and use it to build your business. I'm Jim Edwards. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Take advantage of this special offer. This is only good on Facebook Live, and when it's over, it's over. Everybody have a great day. Thanks for joining us. Go to 3hourkindlebookwizard.com/special offer, and we'll see you soon.